Welcome back. Let's get right into it. Today we are, I don't know why I keep saying today. Hey, somebody.
What up, though, somebody?
Welcome to Build for This Kingdom Marriage. I'm Jazz.
And I'm RJ. Here we discuss kingdom marriage, dating to marry, also growth and healing.
Our hope is that we all come to a clear understanding of God's will regarding love and relationship, aka marriage. Thanks for watching. The topic of discussion is the purpose of dating. However you want to say it. The purpose of dating is, the priority of dating is, the principle of dating is, however you want to say it. That's what we're talking about.
Triple P.
PPP. Not the loan. You want to start, babe?
Yeah, so, I'm going to just start off by saying, where
we stand with
it. Where we stand with it. And what is the intentions? What's the intentions? What's the end all be all, which is marriage.
And what is the purpose of dating? Marriage.
And I say it in a way of a little laughter, sense of humor, a little bit, because of people think it's the opposite, which is not correct, because that's God didn't make it like that. God didn't build it for that purpose. So when you're coming into one of the things, I ain't gonna say first, but one of the things that you have to make sure when you're dating is that opposite person, heart, mind, soul, and spirit, is in the right place with Jesus Christ and God. And also, what you say, babe?
I said you want to make sure that they're dating for marriage, just like you are. These are questions to ask. I mean, you don't even have to ask that. You can just speak, and then as they're speaking, you can hear why. What is the point, or why are they dating right now? I mean, for me, I say you don't have to ask. You can just speak.
Yeah,
because I was just straightforward with dating. So
just speak
with
on it.
Just speak on it. Make it clear that this is what I'm here for. What you here for? And I know that sounds just so upfront, but that's how I am. This is why I'm here. Why are you here?
Right.
Or this is why I'm here. What about you?
Yeah, and if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So it's like, if it's opposite of what you're doing or what you're wanting, run. No, I'm just playing.
Stop saying, babe.
No, I'm just joking, but
seriously, you do need to run. It's a
just let it be. Just let them stand where they at, and then you move on.
I would say it's a next.
Yeah.
Just move on. What's that movie the kids be watching when they was doing the audition? Or they was hitting the buzzer.
Oh, you talking about singing too? Yeah.
But listen, seriously, you want to either ask or discuss. These are things you ought to be asking and discussing when dating or on the date. You don't want to just wait around and see. Let me see if they'll bring up they wouldn't be. No.
Right. And then here's the thing, I know some people don't want to be straightforward because they feel like, oh, I might scare that person away. No, you're not, because if you scare that person away, that person wasn't for you.
Right, and you're going into dating. I would expect or hope that you're going into dating already knowing that God has told you your wife. God told you you're going into with the expectation of marriage. So why not be clear about what you're doing? Now, people say, well, I don't date, or the worldly ways of that's not why everybody date. And why else would you be dating? Except finding the person, the partner, your union mate, your helpmeet, your person for marriage. If you're not doing that, what are you doing? I'm going to step away from that because I understand, right? But I'm going to step away from that. The purpose of dating is to marry. We wasn't born into a culture, if you will, that chooses your spouse for you.
Well, some cultures.
I said we weren't. That's what I'm saying. We weren't. In America. Okay. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we date. Other people don't get the privilege to date, if you will, or they don't get that. They're just born into how it is. That's just how it is. So the fact that we have choice, the fact that we have that freedom of choosing, we still need the guidance of or knowing of how are we choosing? How do we know, right? I guess that's what I say. How do we know? And that is going to be you centered in Christ. That's going to be you with Abba as your father. You are talking with him. You are speaking with him. So any date that you go on, you should be able to go back to God. You know, you're going to have discernment as well. Ask God to build you up in discernment. But you're going to know because you're still taking it back to God. It shouldn't be. And I've had moments, I've done this myself where I was getting so caught up in it or got caught up in it where I was forgetting to go back to God or leaving God out of it. And I had to say no. So these would be times when I would come back and fully surrender it back to him. Because it would be me messing up, me getting in confusion, me like, wait a minute, you know, taking steps that I shouldn't have, things like that. So you still want to make sure you keep God in your dating. I said that before. Even while dating, still keep God in it. You have to. Because I just think about when I'm coaching people or speaking to people and they're like, they say one thing or they say, but you know, God said this or this is what it is, but then they say, but, and then this happened and I'm like, okay, so I'm pointing them to where the confusion came in is because you're not taking it back to God. Okay, but what did God say? You said what God said, but then now you're in confusion. But you still have to go. You have to remember to go back to what God said.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. The knowledge of God is true. So if God told you you're a wife and then you're dating somebody and they're like, oh, I'm not looking for marriage, cast that down. Okay, you're not it. Cast it down. It's no question, or it shouldn't be any question. I know it's deeper into why people get caught up in confusion and things like that. But this is why we say it's important to seek healing and deliverance and things while you're in your dating. Do that before you even get the husband, get the wife, because you'll have much more clarity.
You have much more clarity. You have much more, again, understanding, and you would know, would know, like your spirit would be like so elevated and so lifted to where like you would know if this person is for me. And again, like, you know, that's, you know, just going back to what I said, like marriage is the reason why dating. If that person or if you are a person that's thinking opposite, you're not ready.
This is not for you.
This is not for you. This is not for you. Like no laughing, no joking matter or anything like that. Like this video is not for you. Is, you know, when you date, it's not just to relieve some stress. No.
Or just to be doing something.
Or just to be doing something.
I've talked to people that what I can see is that they're dating just to pass time. They're dating because they're trying to get over something. Like it's a lot. And it's but you got all that baggage, now you dragging it here and you can't even really see who this person is because you're not healed from the last thing. You don't know what it is to be by yourself.
You're jumping from one relationship to another, and you putting yourself in a pretty much you putting yourself in a situation to where you're blocking your blessing, because out of all those whatever 5 or 6 dates or that you went on or whatever, that woman or that guy, you pass that woman or that guy up.
And make sure you always have takeaways at the end of the date.
Yeah.
What are and not always looking for the negative. What can you take away? What do you know more about yourself now? What do you understand more about yourself?
That's the main. Like that's one of the main takeaways. That's one of the main takeaways. Not from, oh, you know, oh girl, she, or you know, oh boy. No, you. What is the takeaway that you learned about yourself or whatever after that date? And just keep it that way. Don't even put it on that person. Just keep it that way. You, about yourself. Take it back to God, and then continue elevating, continue growing.
Because I would say, and I just thought about this, dates that I've went on or things I saw, even when we dated, I start seeing things that I still needed to work on, like takeaways from the day. Like, okay, I need to work on this because I still see, even if I'm just thinking, like if we're having a conversation, I'm having these thoughts or, jump into conclusions. I'm like, okay, I still need to work on this because, So again, what are the takeaways? So the scripture I want to leave us with is Amos 3:3, where it says, "Can two walk together unless they are agreed? Unless they be agreed, unless they are agreed." So that's why we're saying know that when you're dating, that person is seeking marriage as well. Because if you're not, this is why you're gonna go. It'll lead into circles and confusion because you have intentions on being married, but that person may not. So you want to be clear and upfront. You want to make sure that's it upfront. And if a person is saying, "Yep, I want to be married," okay, now you have to see with these dates, look at their character. What do they value? What's their beliefs and all that? You have to make sure that what they said is true. You don't just take the word. Like, see that that's true. And when you see it's not, then you need to move on.
Yeah, it's like, you got to pay attention to the red flags, especially if let's just say you come out with the question of, do you see yourself married with kids? Nah,
Exactly. That's me now.
If you get or if you get a eye rolled at the top of the head, they got to think about it. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm straight on you.
And make sure too, when you're asking questions or you're seeking to understand things, that there are certain things that you should not be telling on a first date, or just there's things you need to wait and speak on. You don't have to throw it all out there.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of, this is me, you gonna accept it or not. Like we don't have to do that. Certain things people don't need to know right away up front.
You ready for this dialogue?
Better stop playing. See, like doing too much. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, why are you trying to test people? Or why are you trying to see, it's an inside joke that we talking about right now, but why? That was unnecessary. It really was. Again, if they're not looking for marriage, that's your knowing. I always say dating is not hard. It doesn't have to be hard. We're making it hard because of the things we're doing. We're trying to make somebody accept who we are. We're trying to what is it? We're settling for because what we don't have to settle for because what you don't want to be alone, or
you don't want to be alone,
running out, whatever the case may be.
Or the
those
past
are the
relationships, like
you need to heal.
Tired and stuff like that. And when you got all that up on your mind, you need to heal from that. And also you need to
take a step back from dating.
Surrender.
And go heal.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
Like, I remember it was a time where the advice that I got was like, take some time for yourself. Find out what do RJ want. And I'm like, how long is that?
Find out who you are.
I found
out who I was.
And honestly, it was, I counted, I was like 3 months in, and I think I was probably like 8 months. And I mean, like, I didn't date. I'll talk, hey, how you doing? Oh, she like you. Oh yeah, I know, but I'm doing me right now. I'm figuring out. And this was a time where I wasn't walking in fellowship with Christ. But not saying that, he wasn't with me. He was with me, but I didn't see it because where my eyes was blind, but I did do what I pretty much just stopped dating, just focus on me growing myself mentally and physically, but not spiritually. That's needed. Take a step back. As you, like my wife said, as you dating, if you
date with intention.
Yeah, date with intention. And then also, if you are unsure, take it back to God.
Yep.
Take it back to God. You don't. One thing that I noticed that with some of my clients, is my clients are males. It's the ego, and that ego could get in the way. And what I mean by that is, like, it can't be about what you want or how you want it to be. It's not about that. Because if it's about that, and you're looking for a marriage, again, you're gonna need to take several step backs, and you're gonna need to surrender it over to God and develop yourself as a man and as a woman to put that pride and that ego in check. I'm glad that, you know, my wife did say that. Like, out of that first date, evaluate yourself. You know, like what are something that you did that you felt like, okay, I should.
What's the takeaway?
Yeah, what's the takeaway? And I know some of us, we have a hard time doing that. Be like, oh, I ain't do nothing wrong. Oh, I'm good. No. It's something you did. Something. Sit down with God and think about it. Ask Him. As soon as you, boom, go to sleep, He'll give you a vision. Like, oh, I did that. I gotta apologize. Like, yeah. So
seeing where your heart really
right, seeing where your heart is really at. With that being said, all that being said, we hope that you guys find this video very informational. If you have any comment, share. Nothing but love. We hope that you guys have a great, wonderful, blessed day. Until then, you guys take care.
Bye.